Hey there, guys. It's Kejiroos, and I've been joined by Motley from over on the west coast of America.
Hey everybody.
And we thought we would get together and run through the teams for this kickoff, the first time the RekF is running, whilst we've got all of the teams available. So, predictably, the Fresh Roll League is a place of insanity, pretty much.
I think that is a correct assessment.
Okay, so we're going to dive straight in. We're going to run through each of the teams. We're going to do the Oakenbow branch first, so you boys can see what you're up against in the new season. And yep, and then we'll jump over into the Keju Rouge Invitational, which is just a solid bash death zone for this season.
I'm kind of terrified myself to see all
Yes.
the death and guts and glory that is going to happen. Um, it's
Well, I'm not sure that you and I are going to come out of it unscathed. We don't have Claw, and Saurus and Black Orcs take a little while to level back up once they've been killed. So
yeah.
we'll have to see how that goes.
I may need to re-roll at the end of this season.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might hop over to something a bit more agile as well. Um, so right off the bat, we're into a uh, a long serving RekF coach in Nadius's GLOBB, which I think is Glorious Ladies of Blood Bowl,
Yes,
and
gorgeous ladies of Blood Bowl.
yeah,
Looks
and
like.
he's rolling Amazons. He's picked up a passer and a catcher, so that doesn't surprise me with the way that he likes to play. So he's probably gonna get some agi-free passing plays on the go.
Yeah, chuck the ball around a little.
Yeah, and yeah, what you'll see with a lot of these teams, there's a few stunties. There's is there only the one Amazons? Is there two Amazons?
I believe there's just the
Only
one Amazons.
yeah. And I'm just checking no one's rolled dwarfs, so they won't be hated. Um, yeah, Amazons do very, very well at this low TV. They don't need those rerolls to dodge away. They have four blodge pieces right from the get-go, which almost feels like cheating. Um, yeah, and I'm sure Ladius will do quite well. Certainly on the higher end of how I think they will be doing.
Yeah, I think off the bat, if he starts strong enough this season, he may very well just get a insurmountable lead.
Hmm.
Um, Depends on who he faces and everything, but I think people going into the weeks where they're playing him are going to want to pick up as much tackle as they can get.
Yeah, or chainsaws will be very good against them. We've got some dark elves, so they might pick up. Oh, why have I got two Kinder of Cain team?
I
Oh, I
think
need.
one may have been a team that got remade or something. I'm not sure. Although, so the Kinder of Cain that is on the bottom right looks like it's already played a game.
Yes, they've already. Yeah, no. Savaho did explain this. Anyway, we won't look at them yet. Let's hop into Lynx's Underworld Denizens team. Now, Underworld is not a team I played. I love the idea of it. It seems utterly nuts. As always, I love the work that Cyanide have done to animate them. The Warpstone Troll looks incredible.
He really
The
does.
the throwers with the shovel on the end of their cannon for shoveling up the ball. Um, the Storm Vermin already look like they've got a seriously meaty claw going on, and that's even before they mutate. So I want to see what they look like when they've got going. He's got mushrooms growing on his tail. Yeah, they really did do a spectacular job with new teams. They look incredible.
They do.
Underworld Denizens really are embracing the nuttiness of the LE teams. You get a lot of goblins that get access to mutations on normal, so you end up with two-headed goblins that can dodge anywhere, or a big hand goblin who can pick up the ball anywhere. Give it horns. Maybe you get one that rolls a double, so you give it Mighty Blow and Horns, and that's your blitzing goblin until it gets eaten by the Warp Zone troll.
Mm-hmm.
This is Lynx's team. He was, I think, at the end of the season, he was complaining about how badly his Norse were kicking up, his AV7 Norse. So of course he's gone to AV7 Stunty is something far more resistant. Um,
Well, they do start with dodge at the very least. Although,
they do.
I mean, Norse started with block.
Yes, yeah. Um, but there'll be a few teams that have no block on them. So we'll see how they go. Their blitzers really are the stars. They get strength and mutations on normals. So you very quickly go block, mighty blow. Well, they've already started my block. Pick up mighty blow, pick up claw, and then just kill everything that's in front of you.
Indeed.
So they will be quite scary.
And what do you think of the start with just the one Warpstone troll?
They can only have the one. They're not like goblins. So goblins get 2 trolls. Underworld only ever get one troll.
You're right. I am totally mixing up my teams.
No, you're quite all right. I really wish. I think they would be even, because a lot of people say they develop into something that's quite scary, but I feel as if it takes them too long to get there, and then they're an Armor 7 team. I think it would be pretty awesome and not unbalancing if they had 2 Warp Zone trolls. I really think that would be a damn good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Aku and his Big, Bad, and Stupid, who are predictably ogres. Yeah, I think we've all been around for quite a while now. Aku has played in the Rekef with a couple of teams before. I think he might have sat out last season, and then he dropped a message saying he wanted to get back in with something stupid.
That's right.
And he's gone 4 ogres, 3 rerolls. So that's the sensible, he says, putting his inverted commas in the air for the viewers out there. Yeah, they're not a safe team. They are the worst team, ogres. Worse than halflings and goblins in terms of winning games. But he's got 4 big dudes who, if they don't go stupid, will lay on the pain. And then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little dudes who anyone gets a free die block against because they're strength 1, and they're quite easy to take off the field because they're armor value 5.
And stunty. So.
And I think even Titchy counts against them.
Oh, is that right?
Does it? No. Titchy means they get a further 1 onto their dodge. So I think that just means they dodge on a 2+ wherever they want. But unfortunately, they don't exert the -1 tackle zones. So opponents can dodge through them as if they were dodging away.
Right.
And I'm guessing their tackle zones stack. Yeah.
They do indeed.
They do stack, but they're pretty useless, and you're more likely to want to punch them or to away.
Mm-hmm. Farm that SPP on the Nobblers.
Yeah. Like ogres, it's usually a case you beat the ogres, but it's how badly you get beaten on the way out, because it's very easy for them to get 3 die blocks themselves if the titchy guys can get beside their ogres.
Right.
Right, now we have Shrab. And his guys have already played their first game by the looks of it. And he's playing vampires this season. So he's got 5 rerolls, which I would say that's probably too many. He could have dropped one, not picked up that last one, and maybe bought 2 more linemen, because I think having a few more blood bags is a bit more useful than 5 rerolls.
Yeah, or maybe even a lineman and an apothecary, just to protect those high-value players.
Yes, they do have regen, but it's only a 50-50, and it's one of only a couple of teams that you get regen and an apothecary on. So It's quite nice to be able to. Yeah, you'd only ever use it on a vampire. Maybe if they got badly hurt, you'd leave them to see if they regen. But any sort of stat, it's quite nice to have that double attempt of saving.
So, as someone who's never played vampires before, you choose whether to apothecary before regen rather than after?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be nice if it was the other way around, but it's just an extra chance in the game. So orcs get it with their troll. You can choose to apothecary the troll, and then it will roll regen. Um, Anything with a troll actually. So chaos pact, I think their troll has regeneration. I'm guessing underworld denizens, they get an apothecary and they have a troll as well.
Gotcha.
But yes, you have to see if the apothecary works before the regen chance.
That makes sense. Perfect. I
Yeah.
learned something today.
And vampires are they can be amazing. Um, I have seen vampire teams win competitions before, um, but they roll a lot more dice, and they can hurt their own guys. And they don't get SPP for hurting their own guys. But every time you want to do anything with a vampire, you roll some dice, and if they roll a 1, you get a bit thirsty, and they have to end their turn next to a Frowl, otherwise they will wander off the pitch and cause a turnover.
Right.
So that's pretty rubbish. Otherwise, they are strength 4, agility 4, and with hypnotic gaze. So cages aren't really a thing that exists to them because they just hypno gaze a corner, wander in, and punch your area.
Yep, that's always a pain to have to try and
Yeah,
defend yourself against on your offensive drives.
yeah. They're quite slow. If you layer your cage, if you're able to set up a bit more of a screen, um, that can do quite well. And their Frowls are only armor value 7. So when I play against them, I usually put in the effort to remove all the Frowls and then the vampires remove themselves.
That's a pretty good strategy against them.
Okay, next we have some Necromantic, which is definitely a bit more of a normal team, and what I'm playing in G-Man 1. So a firm favourite. So this is Fedic. I think he's Alan on our Discord servers. I recognise him from the Rookie League. I think he's hopped in for the first time this season. He's got a suspiciously low coach level, which I'm guessing means he only plays in scheduled leagues. So I expect that he's probably an all right player. Yeah, and necromantic teams are awesome. They start with very few starting skills. I think they've got the largest movement disparity amongst any of the teams. They have everything from 3 to 8. No, not 3, 4 to 8, which is a little bit nuts to have to deal with because suddenly you find your werewolves are outrunning everything, and they just get punched to the ground and fouled out. So you don't want to be doing that with them.
Right.
Yeah, so he's gone 1 wolf, 1 ghoul, 3 rerolls is the safer way of starting. You can grab both of the wolves and only 2 rerolls. But yeah, this is the better way of doing it if you're less familiar with them, I suppose.
Yeah. Uh, and honestly, once you get that second wolf, it really doesn't take them that long to level up. They're the players who are, kind of the SPP hogs on this team. And
Yeah, and it's how it should be. Unfortunately, the next stars of the game, flesh golems, take so long to level up. As a coach who just had one killed outright by the sage, thanks Sage. I just know that he's going to be next to useless, and I'm going to use him as a strength 4 lineman to possibly tie up pieces. But I don't expect great things from him until he gets block and then guard. Yeah, but they are awesome if they just stand there and take.
I killed a Blodge Flesh Golem in the REL this last season, and I honestly felt a little bit guilty knowing how long that knowing how long that took to level up.
Yes, and how amazing a piece that was. What team are you playing in REL?
Booze Cruise, the dwarf
You're
team.
dwarfs. So that was a good job. Although I suppose you do have plenty of tackle.
I do. still was kind of a surprise to see that flesh golem both die and fail its regen.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I've had both my ghouls killed, although they don't have regen. I've had a white and a fleshy and a zombie outright killed, and all of them failed regen. Fortunately, I've had a lot of other people badly hurt, but they have done okay. Right. Well, we now have the namesake of this league, and I continued calling it the Rekef, even though he did ask me, "What are you going to be calling it?" And I was like, "The Rekef. It's your league." And I've heard him in videos saying he feels a bit silly naming it after himself, but I'm quite all right to continue doing that.
Agreed. And also, welcome back, Rekef. We're really happy to have you back here.
Oh well, yeah. Welcome back, Falric, to the Rekef.
Right.
Yeah, no, very, very happy to have him back. It's a shame to not see his Woodies up in Division 1, but I'm not sure they would survive too long because they'd be the only Armour 7 team in there. But yeah, so he's playing Underworld. He's already played his first game, and it doesn't look like he had the best time.
It really does not.
He's got a movement bust on one of his blitzers. He has loves to fly up into you. I just missed next game, so maybe he got thrown and went splat. Oh, and he faced off against the other Underworld Denison team. So it was a mirror match, and one came out on top.
And one came out a little worse for wear.
Yeah, I wonder if that came down to the coin toss at the start and who got it, and then the consequences of that. He's actually gone and picked up both of the throwers from the get-go, which is actually something I agree with, because you want less armor value 7 stunty if you can get away with it, and more just plain armor 7. And they're a bit faster than a goblin, and they have sure hands, so if one of them goes down, you can still pick up the ball. I expect Falwick to bounce back from this. He's not a pixel hugger. I'm sure this wasn't how he saw his first game going, and he's not too happy with it, but I'm sure he can go forward and do all right.
Yeah, I've always rated him pretty highly as a coach, so no worries there. He'll bounce back.
Yeah. No, I joined the league off the back of watching his YouTube videos and seeing how decent and switched on he was, and yeah, he really does know his stuff. Now, next is Rumblebee. I mean, I keep saying this, but all of us are now quite long-term Rekef coach. We've got a small little community, and we just keep ticking over each season, adding maybe 1 or 2 coaches, which I'm quite happy with. I'm going to put Rumblebee down as the dirty try-hard in this division. He's gone Wood Elves in a league of mostly stunty teams, maybe a Dark Elf team and a Necromantic team that can give him a run for his money. But I know Rumble is a very good coach. And yeah, he's running 2 War Dancers and a Catcher, and then all Linos and 2 rerolls. So definitely leaning on the Wood Elf's agility there to do its job. But a bit cheeky when you're dealing with goblins and ogres and, well, yeah, vampires as well, I suppose. So I think he will have an easier time than some of the other coaches.
Yeah. As a quick aside there, I am really excited to see how the Oakenbow branch plays out this season with all of the just insane teams that people have decided to field.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping to see some fireworks.
Yeah, really, I would like people, if they get a really crazy play happening in their games, if they can message us, then maybe you two can get back together. We can get back together, or we can get one of those coaches on board and just record those little silly plays and put those up as well.
Yeah,
because that would be good to see. But yes, we've had no one roll dwarfs or chorfs, which I was very happy with. And other than the ogres, I suppose there's no super hard bash. I suppose the necromantic would be next up, and then the dark elves. Um, Underworld denizens certainly have the opportunity to get that mighty blow going on. The Amazons, because they're being coached by Ladius, I can only imagine that they will be more running and short passing than outright bash, but they can certainly do that as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
it really will.
Okay, and then last but certainly not least, Savaho has rolled Dark Elves into this new season. Savaho was my apprentice over in the Red Rule. We got through to the semi-finals, and then he got dumped out. Although I suppose it was my fault for us losing in that sort of master apprentice dual league that they did. But yeah, he's running fairly standard Dark Elf lineup. He's gone for Phyllis. If he's had someone die, definitely has.
Most definitely.
Okay, no, he must have just fired a loner. Took a stat, but he's only got the 10 players. He's got a Lino who can level up once it's completed a pass. He's got a Blitzer who can level up once it's scored a touchdown. But yeah, Dark Elves will do quite well in this division, I hope. Quick, easy access to Blodge, all agility 4. And Savaho seems to know what he's doing as a coach. I rate him quite nicely.
He's got that strong 4 blitzer start, always tough to deal with.
Yes, armor 8 and block is going to overcome quite a few of the players in his opponent teams. I mean, there's always the opportunity for Auku's big, bad, and stupid just a mighty blow kill everything in their path, but that he will also have turns when all 4 of his ogres roll bonehead and cease to exist on the Blood Bowl pitch, as it were.
Also, matches where most of his nobblers are dead or dying.
Dead or dying, whinging in the injury area. Yeah. So do you have some picks for this division? Some coaches or some teams that you think are going to excel?
I would definitely keep an eye on Ladius. If he can start the season strong, I think he could just ride that, and since Amazons are so tough to deal with at early levels, could just kind of run away with it. Other than that, I like both Rumblebee and Savaho's chances being the elf teams. Playing some of the more serious teams, I think they've got a really good chance of taking the div.
Yeah. I think, I've got a hard time here. I would have put Shrab's Vampires in for a hard time, but they won their first game. Ladius, I really rate. I think since started playing with him, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago now, geez, he has climbed a vertical wall of improving his game. And he's now playing one of the top tier low TV teams. And then, I agree with you. Generic elf nonsense. Well done, Rumblebee. And Kinder of Cain. Really, really rate those teams. It'd be good to see how these develop. And then going into the next season, what sort of basis they have. What shape the teams are in. But I think, no one's picked goblins, which are an utter joke. Underworld denizens have a development path. Ogres have a development path, whilst kind of goblins you keep at low TV. And the same for halflings as well, who only have 2 players, and the rest of them are hobbits that are to be thrown at people's faces. I'm sure we'll see plenty of thrown goblins. If you name your team to throw or not to throw, then I'm guessing you're throwing.
I think that's a good estimation of what's going to happen.
Yeah. I expect some carnage. I'm sure as the season goes on, we'll see some horrifically lopsided games. But I hope everyone enjoys themselves, gets a few good games in, and we'll have to maybe come back halfway through the season and see how people are doing.
Most definitely. All right. Should we go ahead and take a look at the Kejiru's Invitational?
Yes, or as I like to call it, where teams go die. Um, yeah. So in this division, we have two necromantic teams. We've got two flavors of chaos in Nurgle and generic chaos. We have some returning dwarfs who were around for season 2 of the Rekef when it started. We have some undead who I know have some absolute mutants on their team. And then you have your orcs who won last season. So good luck keeping that up this season.
I'll need it.
Um, and I think you cost me my one loss last season, and I was nagging on your heels with my pretty monstrous lizardmen, who, if for whatever reason they're the first one on this list, so yeah, we'll get into this, and we're not looking at fresh teams anymore, so we've all got a bit of a team value behind us.
We sure do. Makes it a little more interesting to analyze kind of what path the coaches are taking their players down.
Yeah. Yeah. So these boys, the Pundasaurs, with their awful names, they've gone through a few Saurus and there's certainly a few more Skinks. They've got 40 quid of extra cash behind them at the moment, which I might keep, I might bin before I play the Dwarfs against High Lord Salt's Dwarfs next.
And it's a little bit tough to out team value High Lord Salt's dwarfs, but you have certainly managed to do it here.
Yeah, I've got some nice players. I think I could do with some more development on my Saurus for sure. Most of them have block. Otherwise, one of them has got strength up and needs to score a touchdown, which I might well try and do. But yeah, I've got a guard stand from Crocs. I've got block tackle, mighty blow, block, frenzy, break tackle. So I hope to pull off some unexpected surfs with that guy. Would be rather nice. Block, mighty blow, guard, and then a niggle on Komodo Swaggin. James Typhoon's Nurgle did that to me last season, and it was the only injury I think he gave me that whole game, and I didn't apothecary it, so my own fault maybe. Brontosaurus is looking a bit meaty. He's been at the steroids in the spawning pool, and he's got strength 5, but otherwise not a lot going on. And then Blue Dynamite gone pretty generic route of block, mighty blow, and tackle. So yeah, those are some pretty damn nice big dudes. And then got a couple of. I got a newbie skink, Kanye the Reptile number 4. All of your brethren have died. I've got Zaz, who was a loner. He's got diving tackle and sidestep, quite a nice combination. If he doesn't roll something interesting, if he makes the next level up, he is probably getting fired. Diving tackle isn't really necessary in this league anymore.
Not really.
No one's dodging away from these skinks. Marijuana has rolled block on his first level up and then has got sidestep diving tackle, so he is pretty damn awesome actually. Totally Awesome has rolled block and then agi up, so yeah, and he's only one TD away from his next level, so hopefully he makes it through against the dwarfs and he should score, I would have thought. And then Erectile Dysfunction, number 2. All of these have some suffixes to their name. He's got extra strength, sure feet, and sprint. I don't know why I quite went that route, but it means that maybe I'll be cage diving with him a little bit. We shall see. So, yeah, quite a nice little lizard team. They always do quite well. They won the first season and then have perpetually come second every season after that. Not annoying in the slightest. But no, I do like that team. They are very, very.
Yeah, and most of the times I rate a Lizardman team based on how developed the Saurus are, but those are some scary skinks as well. They'll be tough to deal with.
Yeah, I'm glad I've picked up some stats on them because I think I'm maybe leaning a little bit too much on the skinks. I've got a few too much TV in there, but it's not too bad. Certainly having two with block is lovely. Having the agi up is perfect because if I have to, it means I can just dodge through all of the tackle zones. Um, yeah, we'll see how they go. I'm sure they will do okay.
All right, shall we take a look at High Lord Salt's dwarf team? And that's your starting matchup, isn't it?
It is my first matchup. Hoping to play him later on this week. Might have to rearrange though. But yes, where is he? Oh yeah, there are some memes in this team. And yeah, so High Lord Salt has been around since the second season of Rekef. I think I then dragged him into the Rebel and the Reb Rule off my recommendation. Maybe he can tell us if I'm talking out of my arse. But yeah, he has a fairly nasty dwarf team, and they have some amazing names. And he also does have a stupid meme player on here, who I'll just go straight to. He's the level 5 blitzer in the name of Barry Battery, who I think if I check his stats, he has got a few kills and stuff. Yes, he's killed 3 people.
Oh.
But he has got block, mighty blow, tackle. So you're thinking, oh, that's pretty generic blitzer. He then has shadowing. I don't know why you would give movement 5 shadowing, but I've seen it work, and I've seen it work and then trip up elves. So he's quite happy with that skill pick. And then it's got strip ball, so he really is blitzing your ball carrier and then staying beside him. Otherwise, he's kind of generic dwarf team. He's got a mighty blow piling on a slayer, a baby slayer who's not done anything yet. His other blitzer has got tackle and mighty blow. He's got one throw with block and kick off return, another newbie one. Maybe his predecessor got killed. He then has a lot of linemen. One of them with dirty player, which are good to see. I don't like the name Child Abuse Chuck, but I expect he'll be punching people, well, kicking people in their bits. 4 guard, 1 with stand firm and a minus armor value. The other 3 with mighty blow and one of them with minus movement. So he's effectively a weak mummy. Gary the Groper is a new addition in the lineman. And then Hit and Run Harry is 1 casualty away from leveling up. That is your death roller. I'm hoping to score early if I can and take that thing off the damn pitch. So, yeah. Death rollers are a crap player until they're not a crap player and kill half your team. And then you're like, oh, they're not a crap player. And High Lord Salt, or SJCT Source, as I think he's in our Discord, knows how to play. This team was scary as all hell when I faced it initially. It's no less scary. There's lots of mighty blow. My first game isn't going to be fun, but I can't imagine any of them.
It's certainly a meat grinder of a season up in the Kejiru's Invitational.
Yeah.
So, and this team is certainly no exception.
Yeah. 1750, so certainly getting up there in dwarf terms. And there are some claw teams that might have a word with it, so to speak. But he won't be. When does he face them? So he's got me first. And then he goes into Mean Bean Machine, so James is Nurgle. So maybe his second game, he'll get some comeuppance for possibly kicking the crap out of my team.
Possibly. I won't feel too bad if that happens.
So, do you want to run through Droxel's Undead then?
Sure thing. Droxel's been around for a few seasons now. That's correct, right?
Yeah, I've definitely done a couple. Looking at this team, I think he's been around for a little while.
Yeah, I believe at least season 2 was when uh, I think that's when him and I both joined the RekefLeague. Um, and I think I've faced him every season since. It's a pretty damn stat freaked team going
It's
on right
this.
here.
This is what Undead need to compete. I feel is to start rolling the stats, and he's and the doubles, and he's certainly been doing that.
Most definitely. So he's got Mummy with plus movement, so it can get around the pitch at the same speed as a Longbeard. Um, that's nice considering they're kind of your centerpiece players.
Yeah,
Um, you've got a Blodge plus Agi White, uh, Block plus Movement Guard White as well, um, Blodge plus Movement Sidestep Ghoul with plus Agi, a plus Strength Blodge Ghoul, um, one Fresh Ghoul, a couple of skeletons with level ups, always nice to see. And then, of course, you've got Dirty Player on the zombie. This is just looking to be a really well rounded team.
yeah.
If he knocks you down, he's going to stick the boot in. The skeletons can operate as safeties when the ghouls are otherwise indisposed, and tough team to go up against.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps rolling like this, if he got a double on the strength for Ghoul to give it guard, if he gets more Agi on his Agi up Ghoul, I mean, really, once the Ghoul has got block and sidestep and maybe sure hands, he's kind of complete. But I mean, this guy's already got the Agi up, so you're less concerned about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then he's got his Blodge agility for White, so he can dodge away and smack. Yeah, he's got a bench. He's got a bit more cash, which he might get another zombie and really start fouling like mad. He's a bit TV down against, well, say me or the dwarfs. Um, but that's a good position to be undead in because you pick up bribes and just start kicking the crap out of anything.
You really do. Uh, and the one thing I would normally say about this team is there seems to be a severe lack of tackle, but given that we have no elves in this league, I don't think that's going to be a drawback.
Yeah, we've got a severe lack of dodge. So I think we get through some of the teams there. I mean, obviously, I've got my stunty skinks, and everyone has rolled a few double to give some of their good positions dodge. But yeah, we haven't got elves, we haven't got Skaven, so you don't need it as much.
All right.
Okay, 10. And his returning nice guys. I think these were around from season 2 as well, maybe. And he stepped away from a little bit, picked up. Sorry, Ken, I'm forgetting which other team you were playing with last season. And he thought, if I'm going to get put up into Div 1 of Hard Bash, then I might as well grab the team that's maybe more capable of doing the Hard Bash.
That is indeed correct. And a little less developed than a lot of the other teams in the league.
Yeah, we certainly have a bit of a split in terms of development. He's got his sure hands dodge piece, so that's quite nice. Hasn't got block, but quite a capable ball handler. He's got block on 4 of his warriors, even though one of them is niggled, but I might keep that. Might take away apothecary rights, but I might keep it. Minus armor, I might bin that dude. He's probably good to go back to the glue factory. He's got 90k, so he could get back up to 13 players having fired that and just start fouling like crazy. Here is message Discord. Go away. And then otherwise, yeah, he's got a lot of block. He's got guard. He's got a block claw piece, which should help against all of the armor 9. It's fractionally better against armor 9 than mighty blow, but I'm sure he will be looking to get that mighty blow as the next skill up. And then he's got his. Sorry.
I think the one thing that he'll want to get post haste is going to be just more claw, because this division almost requires it.
Yeah, I think that's where you and I are suffering somewhat.
Indeed.
And especially on a goat where they blitz at strength 4, that's already a huge asset. You don't need assists. But yeah, he's 1600 TV, so he's 300 below me. But that's a lot of bribes and a wizard that he can chuck about. I'm sure he'll make. So.
All right. Shall we go ahead and take a look at my orcs real quick?
Yeah, the reigning champs as they are. Yeah, just a block in the west. Love that name.
Thank you.
Fill your hand with some DAC. Yeah, go on then. Run through your team.
Sure thing. I've got development on just about every single black orc. Went block first, as I feel like most people should. Besides the black orc who has plus strength, so I have my big guy without any nega trait. I've got a core of some pretty well developed blitzers. Mighty blow on 3 of them, tackle on 2. Dead puny Harvey Pell is kind of my designated killer. Unfortunately, the very last game of the season, my Glinty Daka Eastwood the First passed away, and had to replace him. And then I've got my lineman rounding that out. I've got one with guard, which is always nice, and then my thrower, who some people might think is a little overdeveloped and I should replace, but I kind of like having him in place in order to make desperation plays if I need to.
Yeah, with your plus movement guy and your thrower, you might try and pull off that 67. He's got leader, so he's reducing your TV by 40k from taking a reroll off.
Right.
So yeah, and certainly that mighty blow tackle piling on frenzy piece is a nightmare for my stunty guys to be dealing with, and I'm sure he will be doing some damage as the season goes on.
I certainly hope so.
Who are you up against first?
I believe I am up against the Supermen, so Arch XL's Necromantic.
Okay. And we'll be looking at them last, but okay. Well, yeah, we're into our the first of the 2 necromantic teams. The Necrons. He's around. He's been around for a couple of seasons as well as Francolino, and he's only just got onto our Discord. So well done there. Yeah, I'm big fan of Necro. Say, this is an all right looking team. He's got the dream. Both of his fleshies have got block and guard. I mean, they're pretty much perfect there until they roll a double on your next lineup and you give them dodge. That is pretty damn awesome. He does have his Mighty Blow Wolf, so he's got block, dodge, Mighty Blow. Unfortunately, he's taken an AV hit, but I don't think that guy is going to get fired anytime soon. He is certainly in this league now a huge threat, and hopefully with his movement and his dodge, he can stay away from getting hit, because you don't want him being piled onto or fouled or any of that nasty stuff.
Right. The name of the game with Teenage Lobotomy is going to be Blitz and then get in and get out back to a safe space.
Hit and run, then get back behind your flesh golems so you can't take a beating. Pet Cemetery has only got block at the moment. I sometimes go, well, I did go dodge on both of my werewolves, and it bit me in the arse on a couple of occasions. But yeah, block claw is a good combination to be having here as well. I want to be sedated. Has one of his whites has picked up guard and mighty blow, so nice little combo there. He actually has 4 guard on this team, which is not to be underestimated in this league. The amount of guard I'm seeing on a few of these teams, my lizards are going to have a hard time punching. Yeah, so Poison Heart, just the 1 level up. Although he could throw a vanity pass if he's feeling particularly athletic. Has only got the guard at the moment. Very nice. 2 ghouls, as you can get on a necromantic team. Blodge, and he's got 2 Poison Hearts.
I just noticed that. I was looking at the ghoul and was wondering what you were talking about, but then noticed that you were talking about the white.
Yes. So I'm going to go with that was a typo, and Francolino probably didn't mean to do that. So when one of these guys dies, they probably won't be renamed Poison Hearted.
My money would be on the ghoul dying, most likely.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not a fan of ghouls on necromantic. I think I will be trying to only roll with the one of them in G-Man this season. But yeah, there you go. And then otherwise, he's got his zombie bench. He's got block tackle 1, which is quite nice. He's got 2 with wrestle, and one of those has picked up dirty player. Sometimes you fire that one when he's leveled up again, but no, I don't think that's a bad idea. Getting a bit of TV into them, making them a bit more useful, but just maybe being a bit more prudent with your fouling and just going for the really big targets, rather than just willfully throwing him at sort of a 33% foul or something like that.
Sure.
Okay, Nurgles, and I already know that this team has a rather spectacular surprise on it. So yeah, I played these guys in the last game of my season. James is not a too recent addition to the Rekef, not too recent addition to the Rebel, but he's quite a funny coach to play, and we had a good chat back and forth as we were doing it. Yeah, Big Burrito, the block dodge Beast of Nurgle.
That is a terrifying player.
Yes. Unless she goes stupid, you're going to have a hard time getting away from her, and a hard time knocking her down, and a hard time hurting her. I don't know if you would go guard or stand firm on that next. It's just an absolute monster. He's got 2 block warriors. Good generic start. They only need 1 more Kaz to level up. He's got a mighty blow warrior in the same position. And then he obviously went, I'm going to pick dodge on this Nurgle warrior because the rest of my warriors are a bit developed now. I can be silly and pick the dodge first. And then it rolled strength up as well.
That is going to be a nasty roadblock at some point.
Yeah, he's got 2 strength 5 dodge pieces. Soon to be 2 strength 5 blodge pieces with foul appearance as well. Armor 9 and regeneration. So, yeah. Pretty brutal. He then has 4 pestigors. One of them is a noob. One of them has wrestle. One of them has rolled the dream and got agility, so he's agility 4 sure hands. And then we have the risky killer. So you've got block. No, you haven't. That's what you don't have. You've got mighty blow, claw, and tackle. So he's capable of hurting big and small, but doesn't really handle rolling both downs on the block dice.
That's right.
So, a bit risky, but I think worth going for sometimes as well.
And he'll level up quickly with that Claw Mighty Blow, as long as he stays alive.
He dies very quickly. Yeah, and then you've got 3 rotters, so I'm guessing James wouldn't mind a bit more of a bench, but I'm guessing he might, rather than buy one, just hope to kill one. He's got kick, he's got dirty player, he's got 12 boys. Yeah, this is a frankly nasty looking Nurgle team.
It really is. And he was the only coach to take a game off me last season.
Y-
So,
yes, I was cheering him on to do that because it meant I stood a chance.
uh, he's a tough coach to play against, and I think with another full season of development under him now, like this team is just starting to look absolutely monstrous.
Yeah, I think we're going to need some agility to roll into this division, but I don't think any of the agility that's in the lower div, if it rolled into this season, it would still get equally demolished. So we'll have to see the shape of the division as we come out. And then into the lowest TV team, ArchXL was quite happy to play, so I've put him up here. We've scraped the bottom of the bowl for these guys. He is the second necromantic team. Um, he hasn't rolled Mighty Blow on either of his wolves, but they're both blodge, one of them with minus movement. But Chapino has rolled extra strength. So very, very scary prospect, able to surf a bit more safely and able to punch big boys well. So yeah, quite the nasty piece.
Yes, indeed.
Um, his fleshies both have block. Is a fine start. They're quite the ways off getting guard, so I'm guessing he's hoping the MVPs land on those guys. His whites are equally undeveloped. He's only got guard on one of them. And then he's got a Blodge Ghoul, a Wrestle Zombie, and then Frank Onion. I feel like Frank Onion has been picked up off someone. I wonder if Bork shit has been picked up off someone as well. I'll
Uh,
have to.
I think Frank Onion has probably not been picked up off of someone because it fits the
Oh, the
theme of the team.
Superman. Ah, okay.
Play on French Onion, but Borkshit perhaps was picked up.
Yes, and Rituk as well. Also, feel I don't know. Maybe I don't know my soups. But yes, Frank Onion has clearly been absorbing all of the MVPs. He's got Dirty Player as your first level up because you're like, yes, that's a good pick. And then he's got Block because at the moment he's rolled 5 MVPs, which ArchXL must be absolutely infuriated with. I'm sure I've seen him saying that he won't. He will be firing him. He's only 4 SPP from leveling up again, so he could well get the next MVP and level again. Frank Onion could become a meme. Let's
He
see.
really could.
Okay, so that was the run through of the teams. At this point, can you pick out favorites?
I think my favorite for the division has got to be James Typhoon and the Mean Bean Machine. That is just a nasty looking Nurgle squad.
Yeah, he's got the stats, he's got the doubles. He could certainly do a lot of work.
He really could. And it's well fitted for a division with a ton of bash.
All bash. All we are is bash. Droxel, I think, is in a position to do well. He's got those stats and doubles on his team as well. Well, like other than myself, I mean, I've got a very nice lizard team with some stats on my skink, so that will help me. We've then got a dwarf team that is mostly guard and a meme. We've got an undead team who have the stats and have the guard as well. Chaos a little bit underdeveloped maybe, but he's got the bench. Ken knows how to foul and may well start doing that. But I wouldn't write him off either. They've got mutation access. They may do all right. You're the returning champion. You are a very capable coach. You could probably do those second levels on your Black Orcs to pick up guard, but you already have to. You've got a perfect flesh golem in Rooster eating Grotsburn. We then have 2 necromantic teams. One of them a bit lower than everyone else, but he's got a stats wolf. The other one has a mighty blow wolf. I think all I can say in it with an amount of confidence is someone's going to die week 1, and then more people are going to die week 2, and then we're going to get to the end of the season. None of these teams are going to look like how they do now. Um, and I'm just wondering who's going to limp across the finish line in first place.
I think the death count is going to be important to keep an eye on
Yes,
this season for us.
it is going to be pretty brutal.
A lot of these teams have a bit of a sheen to them. They look a little unblooded, perhaps.
Bit too shiny. Need some work. Need some work done to them.
That will not be a problem at the end of the season.
No,
They will be grizzled veterans.
for sure. Um, okay, is that us done?
I think that's us done.
Okay. Well, yeah. To close out, I think the lower division is looking fun with some Agi 4 and some Stunty. The top division is looking like an armor value 9 bash fest. It is going to hurt like all hell. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a different take on any of the other leagues I'm playing in. I know all of these coaches quite well, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm not so sure how the Pundasaurs are going to feel about it, but I look forward to playing all of my games. Maybe I'll get on voice chat with a few of you guys whilst we go for the bash. But yeah, guys, good luck for the coming season.
Good luck, everybody. And thank you, Keji, for doing this preview video with me.
No, thanks a lot for recording it, man. Let's see what everyone thinks of it.
All right, thanks. That'll be Keji and I signing off.